Hi, I'm Laneth with Counted Quilts, and today we're going to talk about eyes and ribbon and how we put them on our quilts to finish them. First of all, we begin by using a product called Heat and Bond. There is the red, the strongest, and there is the purple, which is the sewable. Both are washable in the washing machine and stay on. This one, some people do not like the red because they say it's hard on their needles, and they prefer to use the purple, which is the sewable kind. Either one works fine. I tend to like the red one because it's a stronger bond. We're going to begin by cutting the Heat and Bond for the ribbon in 1/8 inch strips. These are very small strips which we will adhere to the back of the 1/8 inch ribbon. I first pin my ribbon to the ironing board so it stays straight and taut. Then I take the Heat and Bond. There's a glue side and a paper side. Putting the glue side on the ribbon and pinning it down. I set my iron on a medium-high heat according to the directions, and then I lay the Heat and Bond glue side down on top of the ribbon. It says 2 seconds of heat. This then puts the glue on the ribbon. To put the smile on the teddy bear, we take the Heat and Bond and we pull off the paper. If you look at it, you will see there's a shiny glue on the back of the ribbon. You take your ribbon, you decide where you're going to place it, and you cut it the length that you need for this. You'd measure from here to here, and you'd snip it. You'd have a small piece. Then you pin it down. Then you would measure the base piece of the mouth from here to here, and snip it, pin it down, and then the two sides, snip them and pin them down. Once you have your mouth in place with the pins holding that securely where you want it, and once again you take your iron, and this time it says to set it at medium-high heat, and it's 6 seconds to get it to stay in place. So you put your iron down for 6 seconds, pulling your pins out as you go. I do not wipe mine. I usually just lay it on top so that the ribbon doesn't move or slide. Tack the centers first and then the edges. And there your teddy bear has his smile. Another question we frequently ask is the eyes, the size of the eyes. And Lisa likes to use money. On this little one here, you'll see his eyes are the size of a nickel. She will also use quarters for something a little bit bigger. If it is the large bear, she used a spool of thread and drew around a spool of thread to make the eye. Her rule of thumb is try these. You could try a penny, you could try the nickel, or you could try the quarter and see what size you like on yours the best. I cut a piece of cloth about 1.5 inches, black or blue. And I usually cut a Heat and Bond just a little bit smaller. This strip of Heat and Bond is 1.25 inches, while the cloth is 1.5 inches. And then I cut a piece to go on top of the fabric. Glue side against the fabric. I use my iron and I adhere it. 2 seconds, medium-high heat. Now that I've ironed the Heat and Bond onto the cloth, before I peel off the paper, I'm going to draw my eyes. This is a quarter eye, and all I do is trace around my quarter eye, if that's the size of eye I'm making. Or if I'm making a nickel size eye, I draw around my nickel. Then I take a pair of scissors and I cut on the line that I've drawn carefully. Once you've cut out the size eye that you want to use, you peel the paper off the back. You see the shiny glue. Once you have your eye cut out and the paper taken off, then you just put it where you want it. And then I usually pin mine in place so they don't slide. Take your iron and once again, tack it down for about 6 seconds till you get it where you want it. To finish the eye, you need to sew either with a small zigzag stitch or with a single stitch. I recommend the small zigzag around the outside of the eye. Once again, this will hold it permanently on the quilt so that it will not come off when you wash it, will not pucker or wrinkle. It'll stay right where you put it. This is the same way most people do their appliques. Is they use something like the heat and bond to cut out their pieces, lay them where they want them, iron them down, and then sew around them. Same process. To finish the teddy bear, when you're quilting the teddy bear, you quilt the ribbon as well to make sure that it stays on. And if you start at one edge of the ribbon and quilt down this side of the black ribbon, and then go over and quilt down the other edge of the black ribbon, therefore you have quilting stitches on both sides, it will hold the ribbon exactly where you want it. There won't be any curling or any coming out when you wash it. Here is the black bear fishing in the woods, and we have put a mouth here, and then there's ribbon defining his head here and defining his ear up here. And again, we have used the heat and bond and placed the mouth straight along the edge and then along the seam lines so that you see the defined ear and the defined jaw. Let me show you the quilting on the back of this. If you can look closely, not close, you can see that. You can see that I sewed down one side of the ribbon and then back up the other side of the ribbon. I don't know if you can see that on the black. That way it will not curl and it will not come undone no matter how many times you wash it or the children use it. There's the stitching down one side and then back down the other edge, which just puts the ribbon on permanently so it will not come off.